Dulorme is coming off a split decision win over Henry Lundy for the NABF 140-pound NABO title. Terrence Crawford in the red and black, former lightweight champ, moving up now to 140. That's from 135 to 140. Starting out fighting orthodox as a right-handed fighter. Dulorme has trained for some 6 weeks for this, 8 weeks actually, and is in magnificent physical condition. And you'll see a lot of that from Dulorme, wide overhand rights.
I've always liked Dulorme's style. I think he's a tall, rangy fighter who fights tall. And he's got a very good, strong, hard punch. And he is going to be at his natural weight, of course, and we're all waiting to see how Crawford will take this jump up, and will they carry his power into the higher division.
Well, Crawford can box, he can punch too. His knockouts are more of accumulation sort, 25 victories. He's got 17 knockouts. Dulorme has 14 KOs and 22.
Dulorme's really come out with intent here in round one.
Yes, he has, Rich, and he has to. But Bud is going to be a little bit quicker than he is, especially with those overhand or right overhand shots that Dulorme will throw. But Dulorme has a decent jab, and he can hold Bud off a little bit. Bud is what Terrence Crawford goes by.
Yeah, that's actually a childhood nickname. His mom started calling him that when he was about 1 year old, and it stuck. Everybody just calls him Bud. One thing I do like about Crawford is he is really relaxed in that ring. It's a great advantage for a fighter if you can be as relaxed in the ring as he normally is.
You can see the intensity of Dulorme trying to take this first round. And of course, the idea of Joe Rosa, who works with him, is to make Terrence feel his power early, so he gets some respect from him. Terrence's thing is speed. Dulorme is his power to try to take advantage of his size.
Terrence looks to me as though he's kind of studying Dulorme, figuring him out as he goes along here in round number one.
45 seconds to go in the round. Not a lot between the two of them here.
You see these little feints that Crawford is offering him. He's probably trying to see, Colonel, how Dulorme reacts to them. He's not really throwing them with intent to land anything now. He's just feinting and kind of studying Dulorme and studying his moves.
But his feints have made Dulorme miss a lot. Dulorme has roundhouse about 5 or 6 times in this round, and he hasn't landed one yet. And that's the quickness of Terrence Crawford. Promoted, of course, by Top Rank, and you know, because you've been around Top Rank as long as I have, Rich, nobody develops fighters better than Top Rank. Bruce Trampler and Carl Moretti, that whole crowd, they do a great job. Matchmakers and Brad Goodman, all those guys are unbelievable.
It's all about when you get your fighter to the top that they're ready to stay at the top, and by then they've tasted all different styles, all different ages, all different patterns of fighting. When they meet a guy, that they're ready when they're at the championship level.
Terrence Crawford, all business on his face. Very, very fast hands. And all determination by Tomas Dulorme. Crawford has the exact positioning, so he's making him miss a lot of those shots, and in his mind hoping that the bigger guy gets fatigued.
And I'm not surprised by the aggressiveness early of Dulorme, because that was kind of their game plan coming into the fight, is just to come out and be aggressive and set the tone right from the start. The first 4 or 5 rounds, they don't want to let those go to Bud, just kind of feeling things out. They wanted to make sure to push the pressure, but Terrence is so smart, and as you mentioned, Colonel, just let him kind of get these rounds out, because later on Terrence won't fade. Terrence will even come on stronger towards the end of the fight, so I don't think that he's too worried right now.
Dulorme has a very stiff jab. He's been using that since the opening bell. His start came out. As soon as that bell rang, he threw 3 or 4 really hard left jabs in the first 30 seconds, and he's still utilizing it.
And you talked about him feigning, and then you just saw 3 feints in a row with Crawford just trying to see if he can get him to move a certain way consistently so he can nail him with a right-hand shot.
Dulorme By the way, it's interesting. He says he feels like he's representing all the Latino fans all around the world. He said, and not just the Dominican Republic fans, or not just where he spent a lot of time in Puerto Rico. He said, but all of them.
Including Mexico. I did the fight last week in Mexico, and it was 4 Mexican fighters against 4 Puerto Rican fighters, and all the Puerto Rican fighters won. So I said, are you representing the Mexican fighters that fought last week? No. Crawford, of course, with the black shoes, and Dulorme with the white gloves. This is the first real good hard shot that Crawford has landed.
Yeah, and for the first time, he really looks intent on maybe doing something offensively in this round.
Well, it's time for him to do that. He hasn't switched to southpaw, which against Beltran in the last fight, he had already gone southpaw by the 3rd round. Whoa! Just open up there. But Dulorme misses a lot of shots, and that's because Crawford really knows his positioning. Catches those with the gloves, lets his left hand go. Crawford, you can tell just the way he's moving that he's more intense on landing some shots in this 3rd round. And he has landed a couple. One heavy one, one light one. Dulorme very, very well prepared for this fight.
Good friends with Felix Tito Trinidad, as they talk often.
He loves Tito Trinidad, who will be inducted into the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame this year, and is bringing hordes with him, Rick.
Half of Puerto Rico's coming to Las Vegas in August.
Crawford still not getting hit hard by this guy. He's slipping punches very well. But he's not landing a lot. Sorry, Rich?
He's a little more wary of him, though, if you take a look at his stance now. And how he's, I think he's expecting Bud, because Bud is giving him a little bit more this round, to come with something.
Oh, that's a nice jab. He pops that jab out there so effectively, doesn't he?
Certainly does. There's that looping shot again that Dulorme is known for with the right hand. It didn't land on Crawford, but it got the attention of the crowd. There's that jab again that Christina alluded to. Real stiff jab. He throws it technically perfect. Nice body shot by Crawford.
That got a rise out of the crowd. They saw it.
Dulorme misses with his left. Crawford misses with his right. This is the best Crawford round of the fight.
He's getting some respect from Dulorme now. Dulorme, when he was 15 years old, living in the Dominican, he wanted to get better opposition. He wanted to learn more about the sport. He moved to Puerto Rico, and that's where he really became an excellent boxer.
Well, we could go on for about 10 minutes on the great boxers that came out of Puerto Rico. Tito Trinidad is only one of them. Fredo Gomez, Fredo Escalera, Wilfred Benitez,
Miguel Cotto.
Miguel Cotto. And on you can go. Felix Verdejo.
He's the one. He's the one on the come right now, I'll tell you. Dulorme said, you know, for this fight, everything I've learned, I'm bringing everything to this fight. So you kind of get the feeling that his whole life, his whole career has been pointing toward this night. That's how he looks at it.
Which is why I was so surprised when I heard that he wasn't training with Robert Garcia anymore for this moment, because I thought that having Robert in his corner would have given him the best chance to win. But he wanted to be home in Puerto Rico and was very adamant about that in our meeting, that he wanted all the attention and all the focus because he knew that this was the biggest fight of his career. And Robert obviously has other big fighters that he trains.
Yeah, Roy Jones in the fighter meetings yesterday talked about, you know, all of the strength and conditioning coaches. And of course, Crawford has one. Desmond is his name, and Des does a great job with him. But that's getting the body in shape. But Roy says you need time separate from the strength and conditioning in the gym and in the ring.
Right.
Training for the boxing part of it.
I agree with Roy. I thought he was making some great points on that.
Crawford to the right of your screen on the red trunks. That's Dulorme in the flag of the country of Puerto Rico. You know, when you talk about, Crawford being a ring tactician and how smart he is in the ring, this is what he's showing right now with Delaorme. He's showing a lot of patience right now because he was juiced at the end of that last round, but he's totally under control. Delaorme has got to be frustrated in that he's throwing a lot of punches and his jab is falling short. He's missed with that wild right hand. He had the decent first couple of rounds and then things kind of turned around a little bit. That left hand was a little bit low and Crawford's hands are so fast he got that right hand right on top of it.
And I think Terrence was playing with him mentally a little bit at the end of that last round too.
Absolutely.
Terrence is such a good athlete. He loves his own basketball ability. He and Roy Jones were getting into it yesterday about who's the better basketball player. So we probably haven't heard the end of that.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything in the meeting, but I played basketball one time with Muhammad Ali and Jimmy Ellis, and the two of them could shoot buckets, especially Jimmy. Jimmy probably could have been a professional basketball player. But it just goes to great athletes.
Delaorme kind of slid that right off of Crawford.
You just get the feeling when you talk to Bud that no matter what sport he would have chose to play, he would have been successful at it, but we're sure glad that he chose boxing.
Well, he's a great representative of the sport. And I think that's what he wants to be. He wants to be a great representative of the sport. I don't think he really likes some of his attitude and the anger that he had, anger problems that he had as a youngster.
Well, he's certainly lost all of that. In fact, he said, people wanted him to say more things like a Floyd Mayweather. That's Floyd's style. It's not his style.
Yeah, so
and Floyd, when we deal with him, is nowhere near as bad as he appears when he makes some public statements. But that's not Crawford's style at all. That was a slip by Crawford. This time of night, the canvas, especially in the area where the paint is, the Tecate sign can get slippery. And it comes from the water that's in the corners of the fighters. It's on the bottom of their shoes. Oh, nice. That puts him back on his heels. Is Delaorme hurt? He goes down! He goes down on one knee. He hit him with a shot, put him back up against the ropes, and he was hurt. Then he caught him with the right hand and then the left hand to put him down. So Delaorme is first to go down.
I'm looking at Delorme's eyes. They are clear, but his legs were wobbly from the left-right combination. It was a beauty.
Well, that answers another solid right hand. A lot of time to go in this round. Uppercuts. Can he stop him right now? He better start answering some punches, but the referee won't have any choice. That's the second time down.
His legs are really rubbery.
This referee, Ramos, may not let this go on if he's too glassy-eyed. He says step forward. Here we go. There is no 3 knockdown rule, but if he clobbers him hard, he'll stop the fight anyway. Crawford in total command. Bang the body on the chin again. The right hand is there. Can he land it? Wow, with the left hand. Right hand. Left hook downstairs. Crawford shining now. He's not back totally, and Crawford pouring it on. Last little shot. He better answer, the ref is going to stop the fight. He's giving him the excuse, and down he goes for the third time. That's it. The fight's all over. He's out on his feet. Crawford has knocked out Thomas Delaorme. Well, that answers the questions. Can he step up with power?
Terrence Bud Crawford is just getting better and better and better. And that is not good news for those who wondered about his punching power at 140 pounds. Colonel, he punched harder at 140 pounds.
Well, nobody has really damaged Delaorme like that. Delaorme was stopped one other time in his career against Abregu. That was in the 7th round. This was in the 6th round. And that's a brilliant, brilliant performance for this man.
Well, it was a beautiful 1-2 combination. There it is, the left and the right. the jab, and watch Terrence now. He knows he's got him. He senses the predicament that Dulorme is in. He saw him bounce back, and Dulorme was wobbly right there. And Terrence Crawford went in with that left hook, scored the first knockdown of the fight, but it was really that original left-right combination. And you see how wobbly Dulorme was when he went back. That left was just window dressing. That first left-right combination is the one that did it. Now Dulorme there, his eyes were clear, but his legs were a big problem, and he never was really able to get them back. That's still the first knockdown of the fight. You look at Dulorme, he knows exactly what's going on, but he just never was able to track his legs again. And at the end of the fight, Crawford, proving himself a very good finisher, a surprising finisher, went in and just continued to punch and punch and punch till finally Dulorme went down. Third knockdown, Rafael Ramos stops the fight at that point. Very impressed with the finishing instincts of Terrence Crawford in this fight, like I have never seen him utilize finishing instincts before. He was looking for a knockout, and man, he got it.
Man, oh man, look at this stuff.
Colonel, you remember the old saying, people don't like to use it anymore. They feel it's politically incorrect of killer instinct, but let me tell you.
I use it because that's what he has.
He just showed he knows how to finish. He closed the show, Terrence Crawford.
We all know that we're not talking about killing, injuring somebody. It's a term used in boxing meaning very aggressive to finish a fight. So I'm not worried about the political correctness of that statement. All right, Michael Buffer will have to make it official. So without further ado, we will go up to Michael.
Ladies and gentlemen, the star continues to rise for the fighting pride of Omaha, Nebraska. He is still undefeated, and he is now a two-time world champion and the new WBO super lightweight champion of the world, Terrence